Southampton then on Sunday. The Empire strikes back. This is the most important selection I think Louis van Gaal has ever made personally for me. So many difficult decisions to make. As you'll see to my left, we've got the topics for the show. Normally Alex does this preview show. He can't do it tonight. You're stuck with me, so I thought I'd do a little bit of imagery to treat you, because I know you're all going to really miss Alex. But we'll fly into it. I've got Callum and Kev, regulars on a Thursday night with Alex normally, as I say. You'll have to make do with me tonight. But there are the topics to left. We'll fly into the first one. I think Blind or Rojo for left back. I've put it at that. You could also add in Ashley Young, Valencia. What I would say about those two is it's like going into a sword fight with an ice pop. Absolutely pointless. They cannot cross. I know a lot of people have been saying Valencia and Young, but they can't cross, and that is why keeping Darmian on the right and having Rojo or Blind, for me personally, is the way to go. But it's not my preview. It's Kev and Callum's show. I'll go to you first, Kev, on this subject of left back, and obviously we haven't had your thoughts on the Luke Shaw thing anyway. I mean, it's a season problem now. What would you like to see happen?
If I had to choose one of them, I think I suppose the easy player to choose out of them, I think, is Daley Blind, because he's so versatile. I think he's played left back for United before, so it wouldn't be a problem for him. And looking at it, I'd like to see Rojo fit. I think this is his chance to get back into the team now, and I think we need that bit of solidness at the back. Although we've been all right, I think Rojo offers us something totally different. He's kind of a player in the Vidic kind of role. He's tough tackling. He can put his foot in, and I think he'll do well alongside Smalling. So if I'm choosing one, I think Blind will be the left back. I think he, like I say, he'll fit in, Mr. Versatile, and you always know what you're going to get from him. But I'm not taking anything away from him. I think he's played absolutely brilliantly. He surprised me this season at playing centre backs. A few question marks over him at the start of the season, but he's done fantastically well.
So would you move Blind to left back, Kev, or would you keep him at centre back with Smalling?
I would move Blind to left back, and I would like to see Rojo and Smalling as the centre back pairing.
Yeah, I mean, I went with that on my tactics preview last night, but a lot of people go the other way, Callum, which I do understand. I really do understand, because we've had such a good defence, and to break up that Smalling-Blind partnership is not normally what I would normally do, but then this is a season problem, like I say, so maybe we should start knock it all down and start again. I don't know what your thoughts are.
My thoughts are not. I think personally, I'd like to see Rojo at left back. I mean, it's going to be up against Tadic more than likely, and Tadic is not renowned for his pace. We know that Blind. I don't think Blind's got the pace to be a left back. I was very at the start of the season hesitant as him as a centre back, but he's kind of settled down into a partnership with Smalling. It looks like it's working. When Jones comes back, we don't know when where he'll fit in either. But I would like to see probably Rojo at left back, just for pure pace and sort of more attacking ability down the left hand side, with Blind in the centre as sort of the playmaker, ball playing defender in a way.
No, I mean, I think it's a 50-50 split, and I can totally not agree with it, but I can see that option. Also, let's look at some of these comments. Paul Gardner, Rojo is very good for Argentina at left back at the World Cup. He does play at left back because they have Otamendi and I think it's Gary at centre back for them. And there was a good comment in here as well. Ian Murphy, if it isn't broke, don't fix it, and I think he's referring to the Smalling Blind there. I mean, I suppose the Luke Shaw thing is horrific for us, but we have got good options. We just can't afford another injury to a left footer at the back, because then we're going to have to recall Tyler Blackett, which is terrible. I don't buy into this. I mean, Aknar6 says there, left back Darmian, right back Varela. I mean, this Varela thing, I don't get it. He was playing for the B team for Real Madrid, and suddenly he's a Man United first team player. Not at all. And left back Darmian, I know he can do a job there, but we're moving too many people around then, and that just doesn't work for me. But we'll move on to the next topic, Kev. This is a massive one. I mean, I said on the after-match thing on Tuesday night that I don't know what Schneiderlin's done wrong to not play the last two games. He's coming up for Southampton. Southampton haven't had a great start to the season because they've missed Schneiderlin. The chances of him playing on Sunday against Southampton, considering for him to play you've got to drop well, Carrick didn't play anyway, did he? But we presume he'd come back because we all know this stat that we keep drumming away. And Schweinsteiger's been really good the last 2 games, but it's a minefield to try and pick 2 from that 3.
I think it depends what he wants to do here now, because he's obviously played Schweinsteiger midweek. It's whether he thinks that do I give him a rest. Now, the only problem is it's Southampton, and it's a really difficult place to go. It's an old cliche saying, but it's going to be a tough game. And following the last 2 Premier League results, we really need a result on Sunday. We need 3 points in the bag on Sunday. Saying that, whatever midfield combination he goes with, it's going to be strong. Michael Carrick's not a bad player to bring back in. And Schneiderlin, like you mentioned, who's sat out the last 2 games, I suspect that Schneiderlin, I think it's bang on that he's going to start on Sunday. I think he'll be chomping at the bit, he'll be ready, he should be fully fit if anything. And I think that Schweinsteiger will get the nod again. I think Carrick's going to be the man on the bench, as much as it pains me, because you obviously know how much I rate him. I think that's going to be the 2 in the middle.
So what would you go with then, Carrick and Schneiderlin, Kev?
I think he's going to go, well, who would I go with? I would probably go Carrick and Schweinsteiger. I think I'd go for this game against Southampton.
Yeah, it is really, really difficult. I mean, Matt Eklund says Carrick and Schneiderlin would be a good partnership. Who knows, says it will be Carrick and Schneiderlin. Jake Donnett actually sent in and said that he'd what did he say? He said, I think he said Carrick out and develop the other 2, Schweinsteiger and Schneiderlin. I think the problem, Callum, is if you drop Carrick, we've not won a game this season without Carrick when he doesn't start. When he does start, we've won, and it was the same problem last year. But is Louis van Gaal determined to try and break that voodoo? I would go Carrick and Schneiderlin.
I think what you look at, the midfield 3 is brilliant. I mean, that's hands down, we can't say that, but we can say that. But it's going to be Wanyama and Davis in the middle, and to be honest, you need either Schweinsteiger or Schneiderlin there to kind of dominate the midfield. Because if we win that midfield battle, then we can push on and we can attack as fast and as furious as we want, I guess. But looking at it, I would like to see Carrick in the side. I think Carrick's very calm, along with I want to say Schweinsteiger. I want to say Schneiderlin. I don't think that personally, I don't think Schweinsteiger will get dropped. But I think if you want someone to win the ball in the middle of the field against Wanyama, you're going to need one of our best tacklers, which is Schneiderlin. Sorry.
So you're going Carrick and Schneiderlin, are you?
Yes, I am. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I would go with. Kev would go Schweinsteiger and Schneiderlin. What would you go with, Kev? I'm lost now. He's on mute. I think what we can establish is it's bloody hard because you've got 3 very good players, and whilst I would go Carrick and Schneiderlin, Schweinsteiger is one of my all-time favourite players. So a very good problem to have, but I just don't think you can drop Carrick. How can you drop Schweinsteiger? And I think Schneiderlin deserves to play, and you definitely can't play all 3. Over to you, Louis, because I don't think anyone can solve this one. Rune Edge says Schneiderlin needs to come on after we have the lead and kill the game off. If he starts, he will have to sacrifice a more creative player. I think Schneiderlin will be good because he'll be used to Southampton, and he definitely has the more energy over the other 2. But the other 2 don't need the energy; they can still dictate the play. The next topic: what's the matter with Mata? I don't think he's been doing too bad at right midfield, Kev, but he was given his opportunity at number 10. I remember last season when Rooney got sent off against West Ham, a lot of Man United fans said, right, Mata's going to show the world how good a number 10 he is. I think by the 3rd game Rooney was out, Louis van Gaal had enough and actually dropped him before Rooney even came back. He had his chance on Tuesday night, and he did have a couple of really good chances and blew it. A lot of people are saying, well, you can't judge him off one game, but I think Louis van Gaal might do. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I think Tuesday night, if anything, just seemed like he was trying too hard. And when I seen the actual lineup, I was delighted because you see in one matter in the one position that I've always said I want to see him in that number 10 role and see how he can play for United instead of pushing him out on the right. And I think his night was summed up. The ball that Bastian Schweinsteiger chipped over for him. I mean, how many times you think of the chance that Mata scored last season against Liverpool, the scissor kick, and that was more or less a tap-in on Tuesday night. The ball was put on a plate from Schweinsteiger, and Mata somehow lost the ball under his feet, and it goes out for a goal kick. I think it was just one of them nights for Juan Mata. I think he knew he was playing in his preferred position, and a lot of these players are still out trying to impress the manager. I think Mata is definitely one of them, because he knows that if he doesn't perform, he's the fall guy, a bit like Herrera as well. Herrera and Mata, if they're not at the races, they are taken straight out the team, and I don't think it's entirely fair, but it does seem that them two players are the fall guy when Van Gaal is tinkering with the system and trying to accommodate players that aren't playing as well as them two.
I think there's three predictable things, isn't there, really, Kev? Like you say, Herrera will be taken off around 60 minutes. Mata eventually will come into that category, and Fellaini will come on for the last 20 minutes. I mean, it's as predictable as night today, and we're going to touch on the Fellaini thing in a moment. But would you play Mata against Southampton, and if so, where would you be playing him, considering Rooney, we assume, will be back?
To get... Oh. Sorry, is that to Callum, that?
No, yeah. That's you, mate.
Sorry. Mata, I think he's going to be pushed out on the right. Now, if this was me picking the team, I don't entirely agree. If Rooney's missed the last couple of games, that he should, just because he's captain, walk straight back into that team. I would have him on the bench. And yeah, Juan Mata didn't play well the other night against PSV. He didn't set the world alight. But like I say, I just think it was one of them nights. It was one of them nights for United as far as I was concerned. So I would like to see Juan Mata in the number 10 role behind Martial. That's where I would play him on Sunday.
Yeah, I think the Premier League is very different to Europe. I mean, Callum, your thoughts on Mata? Would you play him on Sunday? And if so, where would you put him?
Where would I play him? I'd play him in centre attacking midfield, because that's his favourite position. That's where he plays his best football. Maybe Tuesday night was his off night, but looking at it as well, as Kev said, Rooney's going to walk back into the team. There's no question about it. It's too easy for him. He's the captain. And Louis van Gaal, even though Rooney's had 4 or 5 bad games this season, that doesn't even matter. Because I mean, get the pun, but Mata will come in, and Mata has one bad game, and he's moved back out to the right. Mata will start on the right, and he'll keep drifting inside, and then we left that whole space on the right hand side out there. And there hasn't been a problem as of yet, but Mata does drift a lot towards the inside. And if you want him playing in that number 10 role, that's where he needs to play. But that's where he always moves. I'm confusing myself here, but that's where he always moves to anyways. So putting him on the right doesn't matter. He's going to go into the centre, and we're going to leave that right space all open, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's very difficult to predict what he's going to do. I think Rooney will come back in, like you say. Louis van Gaal has already admitted that he's the first name on the team sheet. And whether you're pro Rooney or against Rooney, what I would say is on Tuesday night, we missed Rooney on that Luke Shaw tackle, because he would have been in on the referee. And I don't know why no Manchester United player did react to it, and they just seemed to just stand around with one of their colleagues with his leg hanging off. Surprised me as a Man United fan, that did, because Rooney 100% would have been going mad about the tackling, and nobody seemed to want to do that. And as much as I love Mata, Herrera, Memphis, and obviously the young lad Martial, Darmian, and everybody like that, I do want to see a little bit more grit in the team, and Rooney does bring that. And for that alone, although I don't think he's a fantastic captain, he does give us that. He will come back into the team. I'm a bit concerned about Fellaini playing. We'll touch on it very quickly, Kev. I've sort of backed Fellaini a bit this season, saying he's a useful option from the bench. But it's a predictable option from the bench now. I thought the Valencia and Fellaini option in the last 10 to 15 minutes on Tuesday killed any chance of us scoring a goal. And I think teams can deal with the Fellaini option now, because it is so obvious. I mean, is it time we move past that now? A lot of people on the comments box are saying, let's play Pereira, Lingard, Wilson. Is it time we just abandon this Fellaini option? Because it hasn't worked for quite a long time now. I remember it got killed by Chelsea about 5 games from the end of the season, and everyone seems to have followed that blueprint of stopping him.
I think you're exactly right. And he did get found out last season. He went on a run of games, and we were starting to play into his feet. He was holding it up. But like you say there the other night, we've gone back to chasing a game and bringing on the big man to lump the ball up to when we're chasing a game. It is too predictable. It's too pedestrian, and it's not great. It's not really what you want to see. I believe he wasn't even well enough to play, but however, he makes the bench, and then obviously we're clutching at straws to bring him on at that stage of the game. We're chasing the game. I don't think we want to see that. What I will say what impressed me about Tuesday night was obviously I've not seen much of Martial, but to the side of his game that I didn't really know he had, obviously knew he was physically strong and quick. But in the second half, I thought he held the ball up excellently. And that's something Fellaini has been doing. And obviously Fellaini doesn't have pace. He's not prolific in front of goal. You can actually see from that game against PSV that Martial can hold the ball up, and they were playing it in with his back to goal. He was holding it up. There was players moving off left and right. And we've not had that for a long time. And I thought he did that for a 19-year-old kid who's cost us 36 million and been thrust into the team. That was a good kind of plus point from the game, if you could take anything from it, on Tuesday night for me. So I think that's something for the future that we'll be looking to, playing towards his strengths, really.
Yeah, definitely. Keen226 says Martial's hold-up play was excellent. I said it as well on Tuesday. Obviously, he's got that goal in his locker, the Liverpool goal. But yeah, like Kev says there, his hold-up play and his strength. He's got to play every week at the moment. He looks the real deal. I'll be disappointed if Rooney comes back in and Martial goes on the bench, because he doesn't deserve that. He doesn't deserve to go out wide right like some people say. He can play that role, and he scared PSV's defence. We should have beaten PSV. They played us on the break. We had a lot of the play and we should have won. And as I said last night, we don't need to be negative. We're still in the same position we were after we beat Liverpool, where we felt fantastic. We'll beat PSV at home. It was disappointing, but we deserved to win. Which brings me on to the next topic, Callum. Why doubt Louis van Gaal? There is a lot, and I'm sure you're on Twitter as lot as well as I am. There is a fair percentage of Manchester United fans who are, I would say, Louis van Gaal haters. Louis van Gaal out. We were slightly last season worried because we were playing bad football, but we said if he gets top four, he's had this clear out. We're buying into it, I think, as a show. Even if you're not buying into it, I still think you've got to give him at least another 5 to 10 games because there is progress there. But what's your thoughts on Louis van Gaal, and why do you think some United fans just can't grasp what he's doing?
United fans will doubt Louis van Gaal simply because they are not. I don't want to put it in this sort of way, but they're stuck on this mindset of the Fergie era, that we played this sort of brilliant football under Fergie, and because it's not working out this brilliant way that it did under Louis van Gaal, when Fergie had 26 years to cement his legacy, people are saying, well, every time we lose, maybe he's not the right man. But at the end of the day, Louis van Gaal is the right man for Man United. I've said it on this show countless times. Man United need a world-class manager. He is a world-class manager at the end of the day, and people are always going to have their doubts of anyone. But United, obviously, at a minute, the last 3 seasons, to be honest, haven't been playing the football which we've been used to and accustomed to the 26 years that Ferguson was in charge. And that's going to take some time to get used to, and I understand that. But as long as we're winning games and as long as we are grinding out results, which we haven't been doing as well as of late, but we're getting points on the board. And I think that he shouldn't be doubted, but people are going to doubt him at the end of the day. But my personal opinion is Louis van Gaal in.
Yeah, well, I am, definitely. But what I did say a couple of weeks ago, and I've got to be fair, and we are an even-handed show, and we definitely listen to those people who aren't pro-Louis van Gaal, because that's what the United stand's all about. And what I said a couple of weeks ago is that, actually, by being pro-Louis van Gaal, we're not like, there's some people who are, I'm pro, look at me, I'm pro-Louis van Gaal. It's the obvious choice. If you're going against him, fair play to you, because you're actually going against the grain, and we are interested why you are against him, because he is a world-class manager, like Callum says. He's got a great pedigree. Matt Secklin says he's tired of manager complaints. Hakeem Dawoodou says, Mark, there are so many Louis van Gaal doubters because of the money he spent. Andrew Ellis wants us to start using Pereira, Lingard and Powell. Not sure about him. Probably better than Fellaini. And Hakeem Dawoodou says again, our squad is more expensive than Bayern. And Leon Roswas says Louis van Gaal has built a good squad. If we sign only 2 to 3 players max every season to freshen up the squad, we're in a great position. I'd certainly agree with that. Kev, you go to the home games. You've told us what it was like with Moyes. Is there any frustration in the home crowd? Or I know there was last season, but I sense this year they're more buying into it, even though we probably should have signed a couple more players.
Yeah, I mean, you walk away from there on Saturday after beating the Scousers 3-1 and everyone's happy. But that's off the second half performance. If you want to pick at it, I mean, at half time there after that first half, I mean, it was absolutely dreadful. But again, I think it's just part of Louis van Gaal, and at the end of the day, we weren't 1-0 behind at half time. I think it was a bit like it was almost like a testimonial the first half. It was dreadful to watch. It was just good that we kind of improved. We couldn't have been any worse in the second half. Liverpool weren't great either, but I think this is where the fan opinion of Louis van Gaal and the doubters is definitely the money has to come into it, and people will look at the money he spent. And maybe another thing they won't like about him is the fact that he comes out and he's already said that he doesn't think we'll challenge for the title this season. And at the end of the day, he's only got 3 years in charge. I don't think he'll be here longer than 3 years. He's got the end of this season, and he'll do next season if, for any reason, he doesn't get sacked. And maybe supporters just don't think that's good enough. He spent a lot of money, and in these 3 years, maybe another manager could have been a bit more confident. I know if maybe Jose Mourinho would have walked in and spent that kind of money, I don't think he would have been turning around and saying, we're not ready to win the title this season. Maybe it'd be nice for Van Gaal just to say, we can win the Premier League this season. It's all about confidence. But yeah, I'm certainly not Van Gaal out, but I know a lot of United fans, and I'd definitely say at the minute from friends I was speaking to in the pub on Saturday after the match, there is a bit of a divide, and you listen to their excuses and that, and some people purely just do not like the man. They don't like the way he comes across. They think he contradicts himself in interviews. The excuses about, we get beat 1-0, but we won the possession statistic. United fans, plain and simple, are not asked about that. It's all about winning and watching good football. And I don't think they're really getting that at the minute for the money he's spent.
No, really, really top points there, Kevin. And that's right. And we will listen. And the great thing about Man United fans is they are educated on the game of football, and they will not have the wool pulled over their eyes. And he has frustrated us on this channel and the viewers a lot, because he does try to do that, and we're not stupid. Carrick fan says, I am a Van Gaal fan, but he has to change the way we're playing at the moment. We're really boring to watch. I think we have been. I thought against PSV we were better, and there's been 20 minutes against Newcastle, a half against Liverpool where we were a lot better. But it's not cut and dry. I mean, don't for 1 minute think I'm going to be here in 10 games' time if we lose 4-0 on Sunday and get our arses whipped. And he picks Fellaini, he drops Martial, and his selections are rubbish. He's accountable. He's not on thin ice, but a few bad results and a few bad selections. That's why I said at the start of the show, it's a massive game for him on Sunday, because we can't afford to lose. Ideally, we need to win, and he's got to get his team selections right. Everything is there for him to pick Martial at number 9, to bring Rooney back in at number 10, to play Mata to the right, to play Carrick, to play Blind or Rojo at left back and not Ashley Young. Everything's there for him to build that jigsaw. If he goes against that and we lose, then you start to worry. But at the moment, I think the clear out was fantastic in the summer, and I think maybe he didn't get 2 or 3 players that he wanted to get because we couldn't get them. The squad is thin. We've got fantastic young players through. That is his pedigree. We've got to believe in it, because if it comes off in what I think in our, and I think a lot of people in this channel think in their heads, it's going to be fantastic. But we will see, Callum. We will see. Score prediction time. Against Southampton, obviously St Mary's. I don't think they're the team they were last season, but they're still a threat. Like Tadic, Pella, Ward-Prowse has been good this season, and Mane, a player that we were apparently linked to. But I don't think they're the team they were last season. What's your thoughts on the game? How do you think it's going to go?
Southampton have definitely looked weaker this season than they have in any other season. I mean, Southampton are famous for losing players and then bouncing back to be absolutely brilliant. But they've come this season and they're just not looking like they just don't look like the team they used to be. Even though they have lost players and brought players back, they've still got a few danger men in their team. I think Wanyama's brilliant. I think Tadic is good. I do think Mane is good as well, even though I don't want him as a United player. I accept that he's still a good player. They've only won 1 of their last 6, and that was against Norwich. They haven't been in brilliant company in their last 6 either. I mean, the only good team being Everton. So if we're looking at it, then I think we need to walk away with a result. As simple as, if he gets his team selection right, then we're going to win the game. If we play the football that, I wouldn't say we've been accustomed to, but if we grind out a result, which I hope we can, then who knows? I think we can definitely win. I'm always confident going into any game, no matter against anyone. So I reckon if we play well, it'll be a 2-0 win. If we're kind of edgy, it'll be a 2-1 win that it was last season, where we kind of edged it out just about.
Okay. What was I going to say? Well, away from home, Manchester United last season, that was the problem. So again, the onus is on Louis van Gaal to do it. My only concern is I really think he's going to pick Fellaini, but I'll be gutted if he does. He really shouldn't be playing. Paul Evans at Paul Evans 46 says 1-2 or 1-3 to United, and Lewis at Lewis Bachelor 1 says 3-1 to United. Liam at Liam Dargan says I think it'll be 2-0. This is off Twitter. And at Addy Wins says 2-0 as well. Kev, what about you? What are you going for, mate?
I think at the minute my head would be telling me, looking the way that Southampton have played this season, I think they've won 1, I think they've drawn 3 as well. My head would say a draw, but I'm going to go with my heart as usual. Always confident, so I think I'm gonna go with a 2-0 victory. Hopefully keep a clean sheet. So I think I'll be delighted with that. It's all about 3 points there and some kind of good performance, something to take on to the next game. Try and build some momentum really. So 2-0.
Okay, David O'Dowd says 1-0 United. Dr. Chunky Biscuit 2-1 United. David MUFC 2-1 United. Paul Gardner 2-1 United. Dare to Memphis 1-1. Darren Stanax 2-1 to United. Andrew Ellis 2-2. Keane 2-2-6 2-0. That's just a whiz through. Gregory Burke 2-1 to United. I'm actually going to go 2-1 United as well. I thought about this a couple of days ago. I'm actually normally really nervous, more nervous than a cat in a room of rocking chairs with Manchester United away from home. But I'm confident about this one. I think we are going to win it. I just feel there is a tide to turn. I do believe and agree with a lot of people saying that Man United under Louis van Gaal, he doesn't have a pop at referees. He is too nice. Manchester United aren't nice. When we get knocked down, we stand up and we bite back. And Man United need that. We need that passion. I hope we're going to start seeing a bit of that but I don't know whether we will because it's not really Van Gaal. But we do need that. But I think we need to respond on Sunday. And I'm confident we're going to win. We've got a good team. You know, when you look at our starting 11, we're talking about dropping a Carrick or a Schneiderlin or a Schweinsteiger. We should be winning this game. Got a good back four. Rooney should come in there fresh. I think Memphis is going to arrive on the Premier League at some point. I'm confident we can win it, and we should be winning it. And if we lose it, I think it's on the Sunday night show. We'll have a good reason to be saying why didn't we win it. But thanks everyone for joining. It was only meant to be a 15-minute show, but as always, we get some good banter and chat on the United stand. So thanks very much for coming on, Callum.
No worries. And wishing Luke Shaw well, because I know he watches the show. Wishing Luke Shaw well tomorrow in his operation.
Okay, and cheers, Kev. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks as always. Look forward to Sunday. Hopefully we can discuss a United win. If not, then we'll obviously dissect it and go mad and give our views. So yeah, see you Sunday.
Cheers, always a pleasure, lads, and hopefully we'll have Alex back on the Thursday show. Last week, I'm just looking at the viewing figures, just over 120. We normally get about 240. I don't know what's gone wrong with football since the international break, but a lot of people need to come back. So get sharing the video, mentioning the United stand, tweet it out, because I think everybody, all the other channels as well, just seems to have lost a lot of views lately. I don't know where everybody's gone. I hope they're not getting interested in rugby. That's a silly boy game. But thanks everybody for watching. FIFA Predicts, if you like that, will be up tomorrow. Bit of a delay on that, and we'll be back with a live reaction with me on Sunday at 6 o'clock straight after the game, and obviously the flagship show 9 o'clock on Sunday at 9 o'clock. Also in the description, second paragraph down, shows you how you can vote for us in the Football Blogging Awards. It is the United Stand. It is your channel, so get voting. We're up against the Liverpool team, who are a Liverpool account, who are trying to beat us. So if there's no incentive, do that. But it is your channel. We do this for you, so keep buying into it, keep sharing the word, keep spreading the word, keep getting people involved. Fantastic comments on there again, and Justin Hutchins gets the comment of the night. No Alex. Breath of fresh air. I know he's only joking. Thanks everybody for watching. It is the United Stand. It is your channel. Subscribe if you're new, like the video, and keep sharing it. Like I say, we don't like doing it for less than 200. We don't get out of bed for less than 200 live viewers. Cheers everybody. Thanks. Bye bye.